Over the past 2 years, I completed a master's degree while working full-time in the energy sector, without burning out, losing my social life, or tanking my performance at work. In this video, I'll provide a decision-making framework that you can use to make clearer, more confident decisions that align with your career goals, review the factors that influence my decision, and walk through a live demonstration of how you can take an instant step toward becoming a better decision maker. Hi everyone, my name's Jack Burgermeister, and over the past 3 years I'm gone from being a clueless country kid studying engineering to a senior engineer in the Australian power sector. I fumbled and failed along the way, so I'm dedicating this channel to sharing the lessons and frameworks that help me succeed so you can manufacture your dream career in energy. In today's video, I'm breaking down how to make big career decisions with confidence, the kind that accelerate your growth, not ones you end up regretting. To demonstrate the process, I'll walk you through the decision-making process that I used to decide whether to study a master's while working full-time in the energy sector. Now, to set the scene, it was the end of 2023, start of 2024, and I just finished my honours degree. The final year had been a slog, as is normal with honours projects, so I wasn't exactly excited about heading back to uni. It was January, and I'd taken a week off for a road trip with some mates to Port Lincoln. One afternoon, I got a call from an advisor at the uni responding to an EOI I'd submitted for a master's program before winning a graduate role starting in Feb. I wasn't in the right headspace at the time, and he told me I had a week to confirm my spot because classes were starting soon. I quickly realised what this meant. I'd be juggling full-time work and a demanding master's program. I had no idea if I had the time, energy, or skills to handle both. And the thought of continuing to sacrifice sleep and social life after giving so much for my honours final year was intimidating. On top of that, I was very aware that I'd spent the last 4 years working to secure a role in industry. Now, I had the opportunity I wanted, but committing to a full-time master's meant dividing my focus. I kept asking myself, am I making the right choice? What if I regret it later? The whole way home from the trip, I was umming and ahhing, should I accept the offer or decline and focus entirely on my job? With the deadline looming, the pressure felt huge. This decision would impact the next 2 years of my life. The morning after I got home, I reflected on everything. I found myself wishing there was a way to take all the emotion out of the decision, all of it out of my head, and make it completely rational using qualitative metrics. Standard engineer, I know. I wanted to see the right choice clearly on paper. That's when I created what I now call the Better Big Decision Matrix. Over the next 2 hours, I listed all the factors that are bouncing around my head over the past week. Once I had the list, I assigned an importance to each factor, then rated my 2 options, masters versus no masters, on a scale from 1 to 10. Once I had everything written down, I found myself trying to reverse engineer that result based upon my unconscious biases. But I had to be firm with myself, stick to the process, and commit to whatever the numbers told me. After multiplying the scores by the weights and adding them up, the master's choice came out slightly ahead, and that's how I committed to studying a master's whilst working full-time. 2 years later, the lesson is simple. Big decisions don't have to be scary. Being nervous about a decision is natural and is actually a sign that you're aware of the importance and weight of your decision. The key is taking the information you have, removing as much emotion as possible, and making a rational choice. That's how you make decisions you won't regret. As you may have taken from my decision-making process, the Better Big Decision Matrix is all about removing the complex emotional feelings from the decision and evaluating it logically based upon your current motives and career ambitions. If you're following on and implementing your own matrix, don't worry, I'll provide insight into how to create it by the end of the video. The Better Big Decision Matrix has 5 key steps. I'll utilize this explanation to walk through the decision-making process I came to with my masters. Let's get into it. Step 1 is listing your key factors. As you can see on the right here, I had 6 key factors that influenced my master's decision. Career growth, type of work, salary, future-proof, flexibility, and social and relationships. Career growth for me was all about saying, if I have this additional education, will the slope of my career trajectory increase, or will it be around the same as I have currently with my honours degree? Type of work is pretty self-explanatory. With this additional qualification, would I be able to bridge into a type of work that I'm more interested in? Would I be able to flex into some additional software projects? Would I be able to get more involved in things I'm interested in? And as a bit of a backstory again, I don't necessarily enjoy very technical power systems knowledge. However, what I did really enjoy is implementing power systems knowledge in an automated fashion. And so therefore type of work was really something important to me, as you'll see in a second. Salary, again, pretty self-explanatory. Would I have additional financial benefits from taking on this extra qualification, specifically as it's going to cost money? Future-proofing, again at the time, this was the start of 2024 when the AI boom was going crazy. And there was a lot of press out there saying AI is going to take over your job, AI is going to do this, it's going to do that, it's going to take over, all the working class are gone. So this became a quite significant factor in my decision making, because I thought if I could become an SME that learns how to implement this stuff, there's no chance that my job's going to get taken over. The fifth consideration I had was flexibility, meaning the ability for me to move either from team to team, group to group, organization to organization, or industry to industry. Really, would this give me more chess pieces to move around the board should I want to move? And the sixth and final consideration I have was social and relationship. The biggest commitment with a master's whilst working full-time is the extra time commitment. You're basically working your 8 hours, going home, and then spending the next 3 hours studying, or splitting your workday in two to attend a class. So therefore, the natural victim in taking on a master's is your life outside of both work and university. And the question becomes, can you commit to that, or are other commitments going to get in the way? So that sums up the 6 considerations I made. Let's get on to step 2. So we've got all of the different factors that influence our decision. What we really need to do now is weight those influences on a scale of 1 to 10 to quantitatively define how much this factor actually does influence our decision. Effectively, how important is this to us? For me, the top of my list, as I explained before, was career growth and type of work. Effectively, the reason for me to get up every day and the reason for me to be able to look forward to this career in 5 to 10 years' time. Equal at 9 were both salary and future-proofing. Effectively, in 5 years' time, although my primary ambition is to enjoy my work, hence why I've rated career growth and type of work at the top, will I be secure and be able to live life outside of work? Next on the list for me was flexibility. I didn't rank this as high because I love the energy sector. However, it is very important for me to be able to move from team to team, group to group within an organization. And the last but certainly not least was social and relationship. The fact that I was willing to take on the masters, which always comes with time sacrifice, is saying that I'm willing to sacrifice social and relationship. However, obviously it's still important to honor commitments made outside of work and study, so it was still relevant to this list, and that's why I assigned it a 7. Step 3 is about scoring each factor for each option. As you can see on the right here, what this looks like is putting a number from 1 to 10 in each box relative to masters and no masters. A critical point for step 3 is to not try and reverse engineer the scores. This is something I fell victim to in my experience, and as soon as I started putting numbers in there, I started doing my times tables and adding everything together and saying, oh, if I put a 6 in social and relationship, then masters is going to win. I may not want that to happen, so I'm going to put a 5. Just don't do that. The whole purpose of using the Better Big Decision Matrix is to remove the emotion from it. Be disciplined and focus on just rating that specific cell at each specific step. If you're going to undertake the Better Big Decision Matrix process like this, it's important to uphold the integrity of the process. There's no point trying to reverse engineer it, as you're introducing emotions, which is the whole purpose of using this in the first place, is to avoid doing that. So as you can see, if we start with the masters, I awarded a 9 for both career growth and type of work. Again, undertaking this additional software-based study really angled me toward where I wanted to go. Generally in Australia, it's hit or miss whether a master's is viewed as an advanced over experience. It really depended on the organization you're in. Future-proofing, I awarded a 9. Having those extra qualifications will never be a bad thing, and seeking new opportunities is really about having that broad range of skills and knowledge to be able to move laterally or up and down. Flexibility, I rated this a 6 for the masters because it's really doubling down on a niche. It's really saying my base skill is power systems, my niche is implementing power systems software. So that niche is really saying this is what my specialization is. And the last being social and relationship. As I explained before, adding this additional time commitment does sacrifice social relationships, so I rated it a 5. Moving over to the no masters, I rated career growth, type of work and salary as a 7, generally middle of the road. Future proofing, I rated a 9, really because doubling down on my work at a young age while I was just starting the graduate program allows me to really develop my skills and get the most I can out of that. Flexibility was a 7, slightly higher than the masters, just because I'm not doubling down on that niche and keeping a broad base. And social and relationship being an 8, as I would have that extra hours in the day to commitments outside of work. Step 4, evaluating the results. This is pretty simple for the Better Big Decision Matrix. Effectively, your total score is relative to your score within each cell times by the weight, and then adding that along each factor, you'll get your score. So as you can see here, for my masters, I came to a score of 416, and for no masters, I came to a score of 396. So therefore, step 5, compare and decide. The better decision is pretty simple. It's just the highest total. So as you can see here, my master's decision came out clear by 20 points. Equipped with this framework, you can simplify challenging decisions and come to a rational conclusion in under 10 minutes. The next time you come to a big choice, whether it be in your career, at university, or in your personal life, I challenge you to open a notebook and implement the 5 steps of the Better Big Decisions framework. List your factors, assign weights, score each option, evaluate the results, and compare and decide. To make it even easier, I've created an Excel template you can get for free. Simply click the top link in the description to navigate over to my free school community. Sign up if you aren't already a member, it's completely free. Navigate to the Classrooms tab and select the Blueprints for Success course. Navigate to the Better Big Decisions page and download the template. In less than 5 clicks, you'll be able to plug in your own factors and see which choice comes out on top instantly. Well, now you know how to make better big decisions without stressing for weeks, losing sleep, and regretting it later. It's about taking what matters most, deciding how much it matters, and making a quantitative choice. If you want personal access to me, click the top link in the description to join Energizing Futures, where I run bi-weekly events and share exclusive resources on all things energy and energy careers. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.